Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about The Flash, Season 3, Episode 6. It's called Shade. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. What did you think of this one, Connor?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Why was it fun?
Because it focused on Wally for a change. You know, we got really delved into his mindset, and that was enjoyable.
Okay,
Right from that opening where he was doing his version of the intro.
I like that. I did like that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really nice touch.
Yeah, so... Do you know what I feel like? I feel like this was a pretty good episode, but not a great one. But what it did was it actually finally started to pay off like multiple plot lines that have all been sort of brewing all season so far. Wally wanting to become Kid Flash, and we know it's kind of coming because of Flashpoint.
Yeah,
That finally started to get moving. Even Joe dating DA started to get moving.
yeah,
And then Caitlyn with her powers and worried about being Killer Frost. All of these things started to kind of move forward together at the same time.
yeah. And then at the same time as that, we've ended up setting up the next section of the story as well.
Yeah, so Savitar,
Yeah,
he's like... He's like an Autobot.
he's crazy fast.
He's crazy fast, but he also looks like Megatron. Which is,
He does.
to be fair, is a Decepticon, not an Autobot. Before people start correcting me, I am aware of the good and bad Transformers, thank you very much.
Said bloody hope so.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I will say this. I like that he looks so different, that he doesn't just look... Because, you know, all the speedsters so far, they look like the Flash costume in a different colour, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas he's like, no, he looks so different. He looks imposing and huge, and
It's more unique.
yeah, so that's at least a little bit different. But yeah, so throughout the episode, Wally is starting to hear the voices. He's having the dreams. He's hearing the, Doctor Alchemy calling to him, and he eventually gets locked in one of the cells in Star Labs because this is the safest way to, protect him. Because no one can get in, he can't get out. By the way, I love this new running joke that seems to be going on where HR is suggesting something, and then someone else will kind of just repeat what he said, and then he'll go, "Yes, I agree with you. We should do that."
Yeah.
He did that
It's like
twice.
it's like he says something but doesn't realize he's actually making a suggestion. He's just said something, and then someone's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." He's like, "Yeah, that is a good idea. I agree with that."
It's not even. It's not even they say it's a good idea. It's like he makes them just repeat it, and then
Lets them take credit for the idea.
yeah. It's funny though. He did it twice. He done it with Cisco at one point, and he also done it with I think Iris.
It was Iris, yeah.
Yeah.
It's playing into that idea that he said, I think it was last episode, where he said he was the one who causes people to have ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but he's grown on me a little bit.
He was to the point where I was a little bit worried for a minute.
That he may
Where
die.
No. You know, when he came out with the other face, I was like, oh, I mean, I want to see him interact with the outside world, but please don't tell me we have to do this through a different actor every so often, because I'm not okay with that.
Well, no, they used their get out of jail free card with his little gizmo, didn't they?
They did, and thank God for it. I mean, it's one of those things that I should be annoyed that they just changed it and fixed it so easily, but it was worth it.
Yeah, nah, I see where you're coming from there. But no, he's proven to... I still prefer Earth 2 Wells. I think he's more interesting, but this one's at least fun in the meantime.
Yeah, and he might grow on us.
He might. But, yeah, so back to Wally. Yeah, I love that he starts freaking out, and Iris goes in to, see him, because everyone else goes off to either save the day from Shade or go to the movie night, and Iris is left alone with him. And Wally actually throws a punch at Iris, which on its own is kind of like, wow, I just threw a punch at Iris. But she ducks it completely and knocks him out.
Just completely decks him.
Which is really funny because it was like 2 scenes before that where Iris was having a conversation with Barry where she's like, I don't feel super useful, I don't do the science, I don't have powers. And then like 2 scenes later she's knocking Wally out. Clearly she's very capable. Put her out in the field. Come on. Good stuff there. But they eventually have the idea to use him to trace alchemy and sort of let him lure them there and deal with it, which leads us to the final of the episode where Savitar shows up And
Yeah.
that's kind of, we ended on a cliffhanger actually, because instead of having a post-credit sequence or a post-title sequence that we normally do, we just end on the cliffhanger.
Yeah. Which I think was a smart move.
Yeah, it's because it's such a, he's got Flash by the throat and he's like, I'm Savitar, and
Yeah.
there you go.
And obviously, Wally's cocooned.
Yeah, very Agents of Shield, Terra Genesis. That's all I could think.
Yeah, it sprung to mind for me as well. I'm not gonna lie, but whatever.
But it's cool. I mean, maybe Savitar like captures Flash next episode, and then Wally, when he comes out of the cocoon, has to go and save the day. Like maybe this is his rite of passage.
My question is Savitar so fast that the others can't see him, or is he actually invisible?
I think because they flat out can't see him when he's just standing still holding Barry at the end, so I assume that it's actual invisibility.
Right, okay.
Or if it's not like full on invisibility, it's like Barry can see him because he's connected to the Speed Force.
Right, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that'd be my guess at this point.
Speed Force, bro.
Yeah, Speed Force, bro. Ain't got to explain shit.
Yeah.
That would be my guess because no one else could see him, but Barry could. So
Yeah.
that would be my think. What's he? He says he's the god of speed.
I thought he said he was the Godspeed, yeah.
God of speed. He said, yeah.
It took me for a second though, because
Yeah.
I thought he said he was Godspeed. I was like, wait, what?
Nah, this is going to get confusing though in season 4 when we have Godspeed running around.
It is. It is.
But he has a completely different suit, so that's fine. We'll tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean, when he says he's the god of speed, I hope he means it literally, like he's like a physical embodiment of the Speed Force, and this is payback for Barry keep shitting things over with timelines and stuff.
Maybe. So also, don't think we didn't notice that Julian is unreachable for the last third of the episode. They actually make a point of bringing this up, that he's missing and he isn't answering his phone. Now, it seems so obvious at this point that he's either Alchemy or now Savitar, but I'm just saying we're acknowledging it. We're acknowledging that the breadcrumbs are there. I'm not necessarily convinced it seems too obvious, but at the same time, last season was too obvious as well, and it still happened, so...
That's my thing, like, it is obvious, and then making a point of telling us he's unreachable makes it seem too obvious.
Yeah.
But this show is not above that.
Yeah. I'll be interested though to see what the relationship between Alchemy and Savitar is, because Savitar, of course, was the one that dealt with Rival in the cell a couple of episodes ago, so, who's working for who, and so on, like...
Well, see, I feel like Alchemy is working for Savitar based on the fact that when Savitar starts arriving, Alchemy, like, he bows. He gets on his knees, he bows down like he's worshipping him.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's kind of obvious which one's working for who. What I really mean is what is that dynamic? Like, why is he working for him?
Right, okay.
Why, does he worship him? Like, which the bowing would kind of indicate, just that kind of thing. Like, what is the hierarchy? What is the...
Yeah.
But no, so that was all set up. I do think the Killer Frost stuff was maybe on the weaker side of the episode.
But I really like the vibe.
The vibe was cool. Honestly, it was kind of slingshotting between being good and bad, because I thought it was really, like... So, Cisco finds out, she shows him, and I like the whole moment with the glass and then the vibe, like, all fine stuff. But then he has to keep it a secret. Yeah. And then, like, within, like, 2 scenes, he's, like, struggling with this secret, and I'm like, God, how long are we going to be doing this for? And then, like, 2 scenes later, he brings it up, and I'm like, okay, right, I'm back. Okay, you've got me back on board. I like that Cisco brings it up. And then she freaks out at him and, like, is mad at him. And then,
kind of understandably.
Kind of, but then 2 scenes later, she's then apologising. I felt like there was too much back and forth with, like, being angry at each other.
Yeah, see, I feel like, while at the same time I wanted it over and done with, because, sometimes this stuff is. But she probably should have stayed mad, like, at least till the next episode, because her points were right. It wasn't his secret to share. It was her decision to say these things.
See, I agree with that, but at the same time, I agree with Cisco that people keep far too many secrets around here, and it always messes things up. So, in a meta level, I'm like, with Cisco, yeah, no, he's right.
Yeah, no, but in story context, I feel like she has like almost the moral high ground, and she shouldn't be apologizing that quickly. I don't
Yeah.
know. It felt like you say it was too much too quick.
But then everyone could be mad at her for keeping this for months.
Yeah, but I feel like you get to keep your own secret if you want to.
Okay, sure, but given that they constantly deal with metahumans and stuff, I feel like it's not like, you know what, Cisco's already came out as a metahuman. To turn this into a whole coming out of the closet analogy, like Cisco already came out like last year,
Yeah.
year and a half ago, whatever it was, and she's already seen him go through this, and she was fine with him doing it. Like so
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily make it okay still.
I don't know. I mean, it muddies the water because they seem like an evil version of her from Earth 2, and she's worried she's turning into that, and the vibe kind of confirms it, and it just. I don't know, it was back and forth, and I felt like it was kind of clunky because it kept going back and forth. But like I say, the scene where Cisco eventually just brings it out and like makes her tell everyone, I liked. The scene where Barry goes to comfort her, and it all comes back around to him having consequences for Flashpoint, and she finds out that it's his fault that she has these powers.
Mm.
I liked that scene. That was good.
Yeah. I tell you what I also liked, when she asks, "Oh, have any of your visions ever not come true?" And he goes, "Oh, just that one of Earth 2 getting destroyed." I was like, "Oh yeah, that happened," and they never brought it up again.
They did now.
Yeah,
I appreciate them bringing that up.
yeah, me too.
As he said, it could still happen.
Yeah,
So yeah, the whole date night thing is them going to see The Shining in the park, which I somewhat approve of. I even more so approve of Cisco's T-shirt that he was wearing. I don't know if you noticed this.
I can't remember it.
It's you know how the famous moment in The Shining, here's Johnny with
Yeah.
his head through the door. Well, it's that, but it's a cat, and it says here's Kitty.
Oh dear. I also love the idea that of all the movies Cisco references and loves, he can't watch The Shine.
That's too much for him.
Yeah.
Can't get past the twins. Twins freak him out. He's not.
Yeah. It's like he's the movie guy who references them all the time. Yet this one, nope, too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, obviously there was some Joe stuff. Joe with Wally, but also Joe with his new dating life. Him being kind of jealous when HR was like kind of chatting her up was kind of amusing.
It was.
And various other things. I liked all that. I actually kind of liked Iris saying to him, like, "Your dad all the time, go be Joe."
Yeah.
That was a nice line.
That said, I still love seeing him as dad. He gives the speech. He gives like 2 speeches to Wally, I think, this episode.
Dad cop.
Yeah, and they're both great.
Good cop, bad cop, dad cop.
Yep.
Every time. Yeah. I guess it's funny, we've spent so long talking about the episode, but we haven't actually spoke about Shade, what the title of the episode is, because he's kind of a nothing. He's just kind of there to distract them, and
He is literally like a shadow on the episode.
yeah, because it shows up, in that first scene where we see him and he kills this guy, which the neck snapping was, kind of, visceral enough, not bad. And then he shows up at the movie night, and Flash and all that take him out, and that's him. He's done. So there wasn't really much to him.
Yeah, there was no, "Oh, this is his backstory." There was no anything else. They're just like, "Yep, he was one of the husks. Let's move on."
Yeah, it was just a plot device, and that was. I mean, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah, because they weren't pretending otherwise, so it's okay.
yeah, so yeah, pretty solid episode. Definitely curious to see where the next one goes. It's interesting that we ended on a cliffhanger like that, and the next episode. Not that I typically look ahead, but I happen to notice the title of the next one is Killer Frost. So
Yeah.
interesting to see how the end of this bleeds into that story.
It's also that I think the next one's the last one before the crossover.
That's very true, I think.
Pretty sure 8's the crossover.
Although Flash is... No, it's not, because Flash has an... Oh, wait, no, because everything else is taking a week off next week. Oh, I'm confused. You're right.
I'm sure it's episode 8 of the Flash.
It is, because I was going to say everything else is a week ahead, but they're taking a week off. Most of them are taking a week off next week for Thanksgiving, so yeah, that makes...
Yeah, Flash took it off last week because of the election.
There
That's
you
why
go.
it's ahead.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's Flash, guys. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Are you excited for Wally with Pubbers? Let us know. But thanks very much for watching. We will see you next time.